Hi, this is Carl, and this is another SOP video for managed service providers. Today I want to talk about signing service agreements. I find it very odd that after preaching this message for about 20 years, I still run into people who don't think that they need to sign service agreements. Here's the deal. Everybody has to sign a service agreement. You sign an agreement when you have somebody fix your refrigerator, when you park your car, when you sign up for internet connectivity, basically everything you ever do. The key to success is you have to understand that a service agreement is not about the service you deliver. The service agreement is about the relationship between you and the client. So, what happens if there's a problem? Because nobody ever reads the service agreement except when there's a problem. Right? The worst news you can have is somebody sending you an email and say, hey, could you send me a copy of that service agreement I signed? Uh-oh, you're probably about to lose a client. So there's three basic kinds of service agreements that you should look at. First is a very simple, like 1 or 2 page terms of service. This says, I promise I'll send you a bill, you promise you'll pay it. Right? That's very, very straightforward kind of stuff, but it formalizes your relationship. And so you meet the criteria that the IRS or other taxing agencies set down that defines you as a contractor and not an employee. The second kind of service agreement you got to look at is a longer, more formal agreement that's really intended for ongoing services. It covers things like defining who's an employee and that you can't hire my employees, what the after hours rates are, whether it's time and a half or double time, that sort of thing, what constitutes an emergency, we work on priorities, right? Those sorts of things. It's a guideline to the overall relationship. And then, remember, your statement of work isn't in there. Your statement of work is stapled at the end, right? So the actual contract isn't about the work, it's not about the service. The core contract that you sign can be used for cloud services, managed services, whatever you need to have. The third element of your service agreement is actually the amendments, which would be things like managed services, Cloud 5 packs, whatever it is. Now you're getting closer and closer to the kinds of things that people are actually purchasing. So most people have a core contract, and then they have a managed service amendment. You can put it all together in one if it's the only thing you sign, but it's nice to have kind of a standardized contract and then a standardized amendment, so when people do those two things, you put those two contracts or those two elements together. There's lots of other things that you might have in a contract, in particular if you do development work or something like that, and so that would be a different kind of a contract. Also, there's pieces that you would put in there if you're going to do service level agreements, so forth and so on. But everybody should have some kind of contract. It just keeps you safe. It guarantees that the taxing authorities are going to say that you're responsible for your taxes, your client is not responsible for your taxes, and that you and your client keep your personal stuff separated from your business. For Small Biz Thoughts, this is Carl Palchuk wishing you the best of luck in your managed service business. Like it if you like it, share it with your friends, and absolutely subscribe to the channel.